Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, my pal, Brian Kroeger. What's up, BK?
Ashley, how are you?
Oh, fantastic. So such a small world, and of course we all know Quincy is relatively small, but Brian and I have worked together numerous times in the past, and I'm happy to see you here today to talk about something that you're very passionate about, which is
trading cards.
Yeah. Trading cards, yes. Yeah. So we talked a little bit this morning about, the event and what to expect. So I'm excited for you to share with our viewers and listeners what they can expect on October 5th at the Knights of Columbus, because you have something really cool coming to town.
Yeah, so we're having a trading card show.
Yeah.
And probably some sports card memorabilia, things like that. Quincy had a long-standing show for quite a while at the Quincy Mall, and we've kind of lost some of the spectacle that is the mall.
Right, yeah.
So we don't really have that trading card show, and some of the smaller shows have kind of gone away, but the hobby, as people in the hobby call it, has continued to grow. And I know I've got my kids obsessed with it, and if you ask my wife, I'm obsessed with it.
You're obsessed? She'd call it that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Useless cardboard.
Hey, well, but talking about useless cardboard, so we call it a hobby, but it can also be very fruitful / expensive. Right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, there's various ways to get involved in the hobby, and there are very expensive ways, and there's less expensive ways.
Right.
I've seen people treat it like gambling. Definitely not something I would encourage to anyone without the means.
Right.
And then there's people who dig through quarter boxes and 10 dime boxes and things like that, and get cards that they love just as much as their $100 card.
Right.
So
when we're talking cards, because when I hear trading cards, I automatically think sports, baseball cards, right? But this event is much, much more. And you brought out some cards here today that brought back some crazy memories for me, including Garbage Pail Kids.
Yes. Yep. So the modern hobby has just kind of boomed out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that love for nostalgia, things that are comfortable. And around that time, Topps, who has the rights to print Garbage Pail Kids, re-released that. And so what's there is a chrome edition of that. So I believe it's still a sticker. You're welcome to take one home with you and put it in your Trapper Keeper, or whatever it is that you would need.
If you think I'm not going to, because Garbage Pail Kids were a huge part of my upgrowing.
I recently got those in the mail, and it was a blast to open them up and trying to explain to my 9-year-old daughter what a pun is.
Yeah.
And why it's funny.
And why they're awesome.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
So.
And then you have, of course, got to catch them all.
Got Pokemon.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Pokemon's kind of the king of collectibles, it feels like, especially for the younger generation.
Right.
I think it came out in the States in, I want to say cards in 1998, 99.
Wow.
That's when the first cards in the States were released.
Okay.
And it came after the Game Boy release of the games and things like that, and it's just taken over the world.
Man, you're taking me back today. This is awesome. And then, of course, you have NFL trading cards. You have pop culture, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, pop culture is pretty cool. It's really interesting how the two kind of commingle. There's actually a product by Topps called Allen & Ginter, which used to be a tobacco product.
Yeah.
And that's where you get your cards in.
Yeah.
And they actually do a long list of pop culture stars. Their new product out, I was just reading today, has Chuck Norris autographs and
sweet.
the Boy Meets World characters,
Topanga
and Will
Corey?
Friedle, but not Corey. What is it? Something Ryder. What's his name?
I don't know.
He plays the Sean character.
Yeah.
So they're autographs in that product as well.
Yeah.
There's a Miley Cyrus card there. It's pretty wild, the kind of things that you can see.
You can find and trade and
absolutely.
Yeah.
There is a Kanye West Taylor Swift card that's considered her rookie card.
Seriously?
It's from the Grammys when he went on stage. And
do you know the worth of that?
I don't have the worth off the top of my head, but
I bet it's worth it pretty penny.
Ironically, Travis Kelce has gone up in value since dating Taylor Swift.
Well, who would have thought?
Yeah.
And then local local superstar, right?
Yeah,
Luke Guthrie.
they've got a Luke Guthrie relic. It's a piece of his shirt.
That is?
That's
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So yeah, those are called relics. So that's a piece of a shirt. This is an example of a card with a piece of a baseball bat that's been shaved.
Oh my
and
gosh.
put in there. There are relics with literally people's hair, dirt from diamonds, like baseball diamonds, things like that.
How freaking cool. I didn't even know those things existed.
Yeah, the cards are wild.
That's awesome.
And like, here we've got something that's from the the 1990 hoops. So if you got it out, it'd feel like your typical baseball card.
Yeah.
And then you get into your more premium, thicker stocks of material. Like if you took the Luke Guthrie card out, it's about 4 times as thick as that.
Yeah.
So those products typically cost more money.
Yeah, but the evolution is like, it's incredible to see.
It is. I remember the first time I saw a relic card, like when I was probably like 15. It blew my mind.
Yeah.
I remember going to the mall show with my brother-in-law, and we were looking at cards, and I was like, there's a jersey in this, a piece of a jersey in this card.
Yeah.
And I just found that fascinating.
That is fascinating.
And people will collect, autographs, obviously, all sorts of things of their favorite athletes.
Yeah. So you're talking about going to the show. Is that how you got into it? Like for your family, did they introduce you to this, or were you more of like hey, I kind of like this?
Okay. So like a lot of people around my age, I'm 34. The home run race in '98 was a big deal. Mm-hmm. And I was a Cubs fan. So you're either a Cubs fan or a Cardinals fan, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I remember the Mini Mart on 18th and Harrison, around there. It's probably 17th.
Yeah.
That was a haunt for my mom. She would stop there for her essentials, and she would always get me like a pack of cards to open, like Upper Deck, things like that. So I love that. Back when a pack was, like 75 cents to $1.
Yeah.
And then later, I did a little collecting with my brother-in-law, and he had some really cool cards. And then I went to college and just kind of shut it down.
Yeah.
And then pandemic came, and everybody's kind of digging through their old boxes, and I was like, hey, there's something here. I should get interested in this
reignited
highly addictive and fun hobby.
Yeah.
And so my daughter collects a little bit. She likes Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
My son likes Pokemon. He's typically concerned with the value of the card.
That's awesome.
He likes the monetary side of things tied to it.
Yeah.
Which is good and bad.
Yeah.
I think it's important for kids to enjoy what they're doing and not be so consumed with what the value of something is. So if you're interested, or you have a kid who likes to see new things.
Yeah.
Maybe they're already into trading cards. We're going to be giving them a free pack just for coming to the show.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
So I've got some examples of that. We have Haunted Hoops and the Haunted Score. Or what is it called? Score Retreat. And then also something kind of neat there. Those are actually Korean Pokemon cards.
Oh my gosh, they are. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. So
that's excellent. So something new.
Some people get confused because like the Japanese Pokemon cards have a different back.
Yeah.
But those have the same back as an English card. They'll have the same art. Obviously, it's just Korean language.
Sure.
So it's
cool.
it's a cheaper, fun way to
get involved.
To rip some wax, as we would say.
Yeah, rip some wax.
Yeah.
All right, well, now I know the lingo. So October 5th at the Knights of Columbus, there's going to be something for everyone. Something for the kids. If you're interested, like Brian said, or if you want to get your kids involved, come out. There will be, because I had questioned about trading. So typically trading can happen.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's dealers set up with cool cards that they're interested in either showcasing or possibly selling.
Yeah. So
right?
what you can expect to see is somewhere between 30 and 40 tables.
Okay.
Long rectangle tables of cards, whether it be in boxes or showcases. Some will be graded, some will be, in little penny sleeves, some may not be in sleeves at all, for you to peruse and purchase from dealers who have signed up to come to the show.
Okay.
You can definitely trade. A lot of times it's based on value, right? You trade something that's worth $10 for something that is coming back to you for $10.
Right. In the hopes that the value of the one you're trading for will skyrocket, right?
Yes, or something that you really love.
There you go.
So you can do a bit of both. You can pay cash, and you can trade. You can meet new contacts there to do some trading with as well. It was kind of funny when I started the Facebook page for the Gym City Card Show, I had someone reach out to me that I was in second grade with,
Wow.
but hadn't really talked to since. And, we were able to reconnect, and we've traded a few cards already. They live in the St. Louis area. They're planning on coming back. So, yeah, it's really interesting the connections you can make.
Yeah.
And have some fun, too.
It's like a community. I love it. And the community is full of people who have this passion, this hobby. So it's going to be really cool to bring them out, bring them all together. And just give everybody a chance to grow their passion, grow their hobby, meet like-minded individuals. And if you haven't got involved, but you just want to go check out some cool stuff, I highly recommend it. Brian here is amazing. Who else is helping you throw this card show?
It's a solo effort in theory.
Okay.
I'm putting it on myself.
Good for
However,
you.
I have some people I should thank, like Brian Medley at the Great River Collectibles Shop.
Okay.
He's definitely helped find some vendors. He'll be setting up. Has a great little store in town. If you're not going to a card show,
right,
and you need your sports card or Pokemon fix, and Magic the Gathering, we even talk about that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So yeah, and then probably the person who probably guided me the most on starting this was, his name is Bo Thompson.
Okay.
He goes by 1 Million Cubs. He has a card collection of 1 million Cubs cards. He runs the Madison Card Show, and he's been a good resource for me on setting things up.
Very cool. And this is your first ever?
This is the first ever.
All right. Well, I have no doubt it's going to be a success. Now, are you still welcoming vendors if they want to come?
If they could reach out to me,
okay.
I might have a table or two available.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just reach out to me on Facebook is probably the easiest way.
Perfect. So if you're interested in more information, head out to the Gym City Card Show. It's October 5th at the Knights of Columbus. Or if you just want more information on what to expect there, go to the Facebook page, Gym City Card Show, right?
Yep.
Is that what it is? So
absolutely.
Brian and all the vendors are going to be there ready to help show off and help you trade your cards.
That's right.
Or get your kids into it, because we all know that we need hobbies
right.
that stem outside of technology and.
And if I could stress that, it's an opportunity to do something affordable on the weekend.
Yes.
And also, we're going to have some door prizes too.
Oh, sweet.
So, the kids are going to get some free cards. Maybe some adults will walk away with some other cards or some framed memorabilia, things like that.
Sweet. And then it's free entry, right?
Free entry.
Yeah, so anybody can come. Yeah, something, fun to do. Doesn't cost you to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're centrally located, right next to the KC range. So
yeah.
if you want to go hit golf balls afterwards or
Perfect.
beforehand, go for that.
And a plug for the KC range.
Yeah.
You're welcome, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, BK, thank you so much. Good luck with your
Absolutely.
first ever Gym City Card Show event. I have no doubt it's going to be awesome, and I urge all of you to go out October 5th to the Knights of Columbus Gym City Card Show. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, coming up next, Ash C. and Britt B. and Coffee Talk.
Kelly's has been a fun place to eat and drink in Quincy since 1982. A fun and friendly atmosphere, food with flavor, homemade cinnamon rolls, and famous cheese soup, the best menu in town. Kelly's, 2902 Broadway, Quincy.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center.
Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
The Tower, a great place to meet and eat. But did you know the Tower has one of the finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our dining room, bar area, or the Tower's signature climate-controlled porch. The Tower Pizza and Mexican in Quincy.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
And we're back. Now it's time for
Coffee Talk.
Nailed it. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to pat myself on the back, but we nailed that. Okay. What's up?
How are you?
Fantastic. The EFB is really
Running through me?
It's hitting today.
Like,
yeah, it's hitting. Standing on business, as my daughter would say, and I'm sure I used that wrong. So forgive me, Claire, but it is what it is. You have
I have no idea what that
You have an
means.
aging mom who's hip.
Oh my God. Speaking of that, at this wedding this last week, and we both attended
So
it.
fun.
Oh my God.
So much fun.
Congrats, Mr. and Mrs.
Hey, bummer. Yes.
But I've never felt so old because I guess I like threw it back on the dance floor or something. And
You sure did. I watched it.
Oh God. But
You were doing really well, though.
Mayla,
she was mortified.
ever.
She was
do
mortified,
that
but
to
I was
me
back there
again.
cheering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she made me feel so old by saying
Don't let
that.
her
I
make
was like,
you-
well, then
don't
you're
let-
never going
no.
to my friends' weddings again.
No, don't let her do that to you, because you were definitely enjoying yourself, as were the rest of their attendees. It was one of the probably most fun and laid back weddings and receptions
good.
I've ever been to. Speaking of laid back, you were the officiant.
Yeah, I guess that's what they call it.
You did so well, and I know you're like really modest about things like that. You're very humble, but you knocked it out of the park.
Thank you.
You're welcome. To the point where I said you're going to have more and more requests about doing that.
I'll be charging.
There you go. It was heartfelt and funny and sweet. It made me laugh, made me cry, and was shorter than the walk to get to the actual ceremony
It
site.
really was.
So win. Yes.
Yes.
No, it was awesome. So congratulations again to the happy couple. We wish you many, 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 many fun years.
I feel like we came off a great weekend and then came into,
A literal shitstorm.
yes, with everything that, was going along here. We also, I was learning more and more about the storms from Hurricane Helene. Mm-hmm. Aspen's story was amazing.
Yeah.
It broke it down. We have locals there
That are trapped.
I think they're making their way back, but it just put a lot into perspective. I know that I don't always look at the news outside of local because I feel like I'm diving into the local all the time.
Right.
So I was it kind of blew my mind that was even going on.
Yeah. It's crazy when you live in kind of your own echo chamber to think outside of your daily existence. But when you actually take a step back, and I urge everyone to not only read the story about the local folks who were vacationing and got stuck, but also take some time to watch some YouTube videos about what devastation has taken place in these places, the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee. It's incredible in the worst sense of that term.
It's very unheard of too in that area. I believe the last flood in that area was in 1916. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, some people are like, "Oh, it's never flooded there," but no, it has.
Yeah.
But
They've had hurricanes and such, and I know that, in Florida they had Hurricane Andrew, but the widespread damage wasn't as prevalent. So this severe of a storm with the devastation that's taken place is definitely,
in
rare,
1916, I
ultra rare.
believe the death count was 80.
Really?
And so this has taken that record. I hate to call it that, but
Yeah, it's surpassed
it's
it.
I believe, what is the death count
I
now?
think it's around 130.
And there's still so many missing.
Yeah.
So
if you, of course, like I mentioned, I was telling Brittany, my family and I used to take a yearly trip to Florida, right by Clearwater. It's called Indian Rocks Beach, Madeira Beach. They're all kind of, really close neighbors. There's a place there called St. John's Pass. I know a lot of local people have been to Indian Rocks Beach, but it's been basically wiped out, which is sad to know, because there's a lot of memories that my family's made. And that's me being kind of, well, definitely selfish, because people who live there and rely on those places of businesses for their livelihood, but then also their residents, I just can't imagine not having food, not having power, not being able to leave. I know there have been significant mudslides and just, standing water that is inhibiting rescue personnel and food and water to get to these people. So, while we're here bitching about kind of everyday things, it really does put it in perspective that things can be worse, and that we're pretty lucky people.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And then, of course, people want to reach out and help, which I think is fantastic, because that is kind of the silver lining that encompasses this whole thing. The sense of community that a disaster brings is, it tends to kind of break up some of those dark clouds.
Yeah.
Right? The sense of community, the sense of everybody wanting to pitch in. And there are lots and lots of ways. Of course, you have the American Red Cross that helps everyone everywhere, and then the Salvation Army. But there are also state-specific organizations that I just found today, because I know a lot of people more and more are hesitant to donate to larger kind of conglomerates because they don't know how much of their money or where it's going. But there are state-specific. So in Florida, volunteerflorida.org. North Carolina is the United Way NC. .org. There's one SC fund for South Carolina, Feeding the Carolinas, and then Tennessee, East Tennessee Foundation.org. And I'm sure there are so many other ways to help. But I think right now, if you're the praying kind, pray. If you are the feet on the ground, I guess I don't know that I would go there, but reach out and see what funding, what resources they need, and go from there. It's going to take a long, long time to rebuild a lot of this, but I think the more that we all pull together and help, and funds are low, right? Because everything's expensive. But if you have a few extra dollars, I recommend reaching out and helping that way. And then,
yeah, it's crazy to think that I don't think most of those people have flood insurance. Yeah, it's not a normal natural disaster that happens in that area, which that also raises questions of the how, the why. Yeah, I know a lot of people are already kind of saying it's contributing to global warming, fossil fuels being used. We had record heat temperatures in that area last year. It's kind of creating, a greenhouse effect where that might be some.
And then for conspiracy theorists like me, wink, wink, cloud seeding.
Yeah.
Right? That's a thing. I don't know if that contributes.
I don't know
how it does, but
I know that area is high in some lithium, and it's some kind of sought after.
That's for electric vehicles. That's what they need, lithium mining.
I know.
See, now we're getting into
maybe not.
Uncharted territory. See, as much as we want to talk about it, we don't really know enough to say it, and we don't want to divert
from the disaster
too far away from
there's
what
always
the actual cause is. But there is a cause. I don't know if it's natural. I know it's a disaster. We'll say that, right? Yeah. And then
another disaster.
Oh my gosh,
that happened last night. Well, as you're watching this today, it happened
yesterday overnight.
Yeah. Tuesday at midnight.
Yeah.
The dock strike is what we would call it, I guess. That started, and this was something that we knew that this was going to happen. It was impending, yeah. What that is so the three major ports are, I think you have the Gulf port, the Eastern port, and the Western port. The Gulf and the Eastern are shut down right now. They are striking. The longshoremen, that's the term.
The cargo ship workers.
Are striking due to inadequate pay. And right now, I think what it is they get paid on average $39 an hour. They've been asking for a $5 raise or $5 an hour raise for the last 6 years. So at this point, they should be owed $69 an hour.
Yeah.
Two things with this. like it's cause and effect too, just like a disaster. This is not obviously a natural disaster. This is a man-made disaster.
100%.
This has happened back in 2000. Where are my notes? 2002, I believe, under Bush. He imposed what was called the Taft. I forgot what Taft-Hartley Act of 1947.
It rings a slight bell, or maybe it's just named Taft. But yeah,
it made it so that they had to open the ports. They couldn't. You can't strike on something that is going to inhibit Americans entirely. You know.
Yeah. Got to have supply and
right now Biden is not doing it, or maybe he will.
Yeah.
Hopefully, but a lot of people are saying that this probably won't happen because it's an election year.
Yeah.
It's scary. I'm not trying to fearmonger by any means, because everyone says don't go out and stockpile. Like that's what all the media sources are saying.
Yeah.
But then you also think, I mean, it's only human to think, I guess.
Cover your own ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's what I think. So yes, it's a problem. I don't know if I think fair and equal wage is something. I also have opinions on unions that we'll save for another day. But a 12% raise today to let them make $70 an hour. I don't know
No, that would be, I think it's like a 70% raise.
So it's like 12% over so many years so that they could end up making X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
Well, over so many years, then X amount of dollars is not going to mean shit because inflation, and then we're going to be back to square one. But I don't know if it's a fair wage or not. I don't know the dangers involved. I don't know how hard they work. I don't know the hours, blah, 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 blah. What I know is we probably should talk about maybe profit sharing instead of unionizing these wages, because profit sharing would say, well, if you make this, you got to share that with your employees, and then you would never have to discuss strike again. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And
I think
places like this, especially.
In places that can affect the livelihood and the well-being of everyone in the United States of America and probably beyond because of exports, I think that there has to be another way to bring these conversations to the table. I don't know how you actually go about switching that over, but I think if you were a large corporation who made a ton of money last year, which I think is why this was brought up, because they are making a lot of money, then you have the conversation of, well, we helped you make those earnings, right? And then as a company, you also have tax benefits. I work for a company that's an employee-owned, so I get profit sharing. That company also gets, tax benefits of said earnings. So I don't know. I think this kind of creates a whole new conversation that probably needs to take place sooner than later, because we're not trying to fearmonger, but it is it's a problem that we can't pay fair wages, but once those wages are paid, then things go up in price, and it's just a never-ending cycle.
How quickly are things going to go? I mean, in our economy today, things go up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Look at eggs.
Yeah.
How quickly is everything going to go up with this?
Yeah.
Is what worries me.
And I just saw a picture of somebody posting on Facebook that gas somewhere is like $2.58 a gallon. It's in town, I believe. I mean, prices are going to go up on everything, and already inflationary prices are hitting everything that we use. So what's this going to do to them? It's like, come on, can we just catch a flipping break? So rather than go out and grab all the toilet paper or the eggs or the milk or what have you, let's stimulate some conversation about how we can make these changes and then hold these lawmakers and these politicians accountable, because it is an election year, and these things are things that we need to vote on, I think.
Yes.
Right?
I think it's the only thing you can do.
Yeah. Make your voice heard, which is what we do here on Coffee Talk, right?
And save your own ass.
Yeah. And on that note, save your own ass. Yeah. No, but cheers to EFB for sponsoring. We give our best, and again, prayers if that's, your style, positive vibes to everyone affected by Hurricane Helene. Also for, the dock strike, just stay in the know. cover your ass, make sure that you're prepared for whatever may be taking place, because we all know that dock strike or not, hurricane or not, it is an election year, and we never know what's going to hit the fan, but something is sure to happen.
Sounds
right?
good.
So I think that
Or
does
bad.
it for today's
Coffee talk.
We'll catch you next time.